Spiders and Magic, Chapter 2, by Maximus Reborn. Does whatever a pony can. Pierre groaned as his senses steadily returned. His vision spun, blurring further as he attempted to center it. After a few moments, Pierre forced himself to sit in an upright position. Recent memories filled his mind, from talking ponies he encountered to the dragon that threw him across the village. A bolt of pain coursed through his cranium, and the effects of the crash landing still painfully evident. He brought his hoof over his eyes to block the awfully bright light. Suddenly, as if his senses were just catching up to the real world, Pierre held his hoof across his face for what seemed like an eternity, before he screamed at the top of his lungs. At the same moment, he threw the bed covers to the side, revealing his lower half had been changed as well. The hose that were his hands and feet were enough, but Pierre let out a high-pitched shriek when his newly formed tail whipped between his legs, seemingly waving at his new master. In his panicked state, Pierre slipped over the edge of the bed, head first. With his lower body now pointing skyward, he frantically searched the room for a mirror, managing to find one across the room, despite the awkward position he was in. Forcing himself to stand up, Pierre trotted over to the mirror, but his legs and arms moved too fast for their own good. His back hooves tangled up with his front legs, causing the morphed man pony to crash into the floor face first with a smack. Rolling his eyes, Pierre growled. Determined not to be made a fool of, he hopped back to his hooves, but immediately lost his balance again, this time falling on his forehead. This was just as painful as the last, a protrusion from his forehead having formed from the result. However, Pierre's eyes narrowed on the oddity. It was not a knot, as he normally speculated, but a horn of sorts. He brought his hoof up and poked the appendage. Though his reaction was delayed, Pierre let out another horrifying screech. Having enough, Pierre staggered to the mirror, his mouth falling agape at the image within. Though his costume remained intact normally, it looked ridiculous considering a pony was wearing it now, and Pierre's mane and tail and horn tore several unwanted holes in the spandex. Pierre brought his hose over his cheeks and screamed once more, all the while standing upright. "Oh my God! I turned into Seabiscuit! I look more ridiculous than Spider-Ham!" Falling back on all four hooves, Pierre extended each limb, taking a moment to analyze his new body. "Look, God, if this is for all the cracks I made about the pig, I want to take a moment and say I'm sorry. The other me's made fun of him too. Why is it just me you're getting back at? I swear, it's like you hate me and you go out of your way to screw my days up. Heck, I could just... Hi!" A young girl enthusiastically speak, causing Pierre to turn, only to find a pair of large blue eyes, a pink coat, and a matching mane a couple inches away from his face. "I'm thinking high. What's your... Oh, God!" Pierre yelped, stumbling back on his hose and taking a look at the sheets disregarded earlier. Before he knew it, Pierre fell back and smashed his head against the foot of the bed. A pitiful groan escaped from his mouth. "I was hoping this was a dream. What's going on around here?"
"You're in Princess Celestia's private quarters."
He remained on his back, but shifted his head to the sound of the voice, finding Twilight standing over him with a sweet smile on his face. "You've been unconscious for 3 days now. We didn't know when or if you would ever wake up." She glanced at the mirror before shifting her gaze back to the stallion. "I see you noticed your recent development. How are you feeling?" "Like I got hit twice and rolled over by said truck 5 times for good measure." Turning onto his belly, Pierre forced himself back into standing position. "You mean to tell me I'm still here? Is that why I'm a horse all of a sudden?" Twilight shook her head. "We're not sure. You changed right when you lost consciousness. The most conclusive theory we come up with so far is that the magic of our world is having an effect on your unique biological structure. Perhaps it's a way of giving you a suitable form for this world." "Not the weirdest explanation I ever heard." Pierre sighed, keeping his gaze fixed on his fingerless hooves. A shadow loomed over his finger. It caused the Spider-Man to raise his brow to pink mare to stare at him intently. "So, you said your name was Pinky, right?" He screamed hoveringly as the mayor replied with a wide activity grin. Again, subtle. Then again, Spider-Man screamed subtly. "Please excuse my friend Pinkie Pie. She's a little unusual," Twi stated. No, Twi. Mabel is unusual." "Pinkie Pie's insane." Rainbow Dash slipped in past Twi's head, lying next to Pinkie. "Random's more like it." "Random. Sounds like my life explained in one word." Pierre noted before a fourth pony walked up and stepped next to Twilight. He glanced at the familiar azure irises and tilted his head. "Oh, hey! I remember you!" The Snow White pony flicked her head, flipping her violet mane back right behind her neck, and smiled warmly at Pierre. "Well,
I believe we haven't been properly introduced yet. She extended her hoof out to him. My name is Rarity. I can't thank you enough for saving my life, though I must say I was under the impression you were taller.
He furrowed his brow underneath his mask, unsure of how to respond. Back at home, he saw this as a handshake, but with no fingers. He had no idea what to do. Raised his hoof and slowly placed it against her own, waiting a look of disapproval. Rarity's smile remained intact, meaning Peter's actions were not incorrect by her standards. Pleasure's all mine. I was taller, but I can't shrunk recently. I knew I shouldn't have stopped drinking milk, he groaned, hating how stumpy his floating limbs were compared to his humans. However, his mind recollected the events of the night, namely the fire that nearly took the unicorn's life. You seem to be doing okay. How bad was the damage to your house?
Her brow furrowed. Devastating. Nothing was left.
Peter cringed, feeling a twinge of guilt rise from the back of his mind. Sorry I couldn't save your home.
It is unfortunate.
She forced outside, frustration appearing in her voice, but she closed her eyes and smiled.
But it's something that can't be replaced, I assure you. I am far more grateful you saved my life than my assassins. This was a good reason to start anew and make changes to my business.
She paused, staring at Peter's body and frowning afterward.
Starting with your gaudy attire.
Wait, did a horse just call my costume gaudy?
I knew everyone hated my costume back home. I know, Peter. I think it's a pretty awesome costume. It's iconic, it shows off everything, and it's pretty well done.
But this is ridiculous! Peter waved his hoof decisively.
What are you, a designer or something?
Pressing her head back with her hoof, Rarity's smile grew.
Well, yes, I am a fashion consultant extraordinaire.
Spider-Man's hoof fell over his forehead. Are you kidding me?
I think it's pretty cool,
Rainbow Dash said, earning a blank stare from Rarity. She closed her eyes and placed her hooves on her hips.
Not near the level of Wonderbolt's cool, but still pretty cool.
While the two continued their disagreement, Peter felt a small hint of contact on his shoulder. He turned but saw no one. A voice whispered, bringing Peter's eyes down to find a second pair of large blue eyes, masked with a beautiful flow of pink hair. Unlike the others, her coat was a bright yellow.
Are you okay?
She asked, brushing her hoof against another.
I hope you're not hurt.
Oh, Peter's mind melted, succumbing to the frail aura that the Pegasus excluded. Seeing his head, Spider-Man shrugged his shoulders. I've had worse. I haven't been holding on for a second. Applejack trotted around the corner, grabbing the entire room's attention, sat next to Pierre. This fellow's been through a lot. How about we slow down, give him time to grab his bearings?
I agree, Applejack.
Everyone in the room, with the exception of Pierre, reacted to the voice and scrambled to a line formation, each bowing their head out of respect. Spider-Man turned at the sound of the approaching steps from behind, but his mouth fell full agape at the sight of a colossal, yet elegant figure. Her colorful mane, with streaks of blue, purple, green, and pink, flowed effortlessly as if it were made of the wind itself. Please, no, Celestial, please, please, please! Her violet eyes sternly stared at the blank lenses for several moments, creating a sense of tension between the two. But her expression softened in the form of a small smile.
Greetings, Outworlder. Welcome to the world of Equestria. I am its ruler, Princess Celestia.
Hi? I'm Spider-Man, Peter replied, earning his share of puzzled looks from the ponies. Though it's kind of misleading since I look like this now. Celestia furrowed her brow.
Your real name?
She glanced over to Twilight, grinned slightly.
My student has told me some of the details.
Peter shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. I'm sorry, but back in my home, I keep my identity secret. It's not really for me. It's to protect those close to me, since there's a lot of bad guys who would just love to play hockey with my skull.
Is that really a sport?
Pinkie Pie asked, receiving a swift kick from Applejack right after. Ignoring the girl's question, Celestia closed her eyes and nodded.
I understand perfectly, but you may not be able to go back home.
Peter's eyes widened, causing the princess to clear her throat.
Ahem. At least not anytime soon.
In a sense of cool diminishing, Peter rushed over to Princess Celestia. What do you mean, not anytime soon? Twilight broke away from the line, running between Peter and the princess. Look of sorrow filled her eyes.
I'm sorry. Don't blame her. It's my fault. She paced the room, walking by each of her friends. I was desperate. If I hadn't summoned you, that dragon would have caused more damage than it did.
Much good that did. All I managed to do was get my butt hit to be take the dragon off. Pierre exhaled. Ran himself back up right been all before, managed to crack the surface. The girls jumped from the impact he left, but Pierre looked back at himself and groaned once more. To make matters worse, I'm losing my super strength. Rainbow Dash jumped from the bed and landed next to Twilight, placing her hoof over her shoulder.
That's not true. You saved our lives. But it has to count for something, right?
As he glanced over at Pierre, more so cracked by the floor by his host.
Besides, you seem pretty strong to me.
Words echoed through his head. Saving lives was always the most important thing. He folded his forearms and sighed inwardly. His nice guy nature never got him anywhere, but he couldn't hold anything against Twilight. He stole a peek at the girl, and looked away to press her hoof over her eyes, and sighed inwardly. In the end, Twilight was just a girl who did what he could to help everyone, so that he did Rick on his regular basis at home. The difference was that he could appreciate what he did while the people back home hated Spider-Man no matter what he did. He still had some of his super strength, so the situation wasn't completely dire yet. Spider-Man went over to Twilight, and much to her surprise, placed his hoof on her shoulder.
Sorry about the outburst.
You did nothing wrong. He shifted his gaze over to Celestia.
But what do you mean when you said I won't be returned home?
Celestia's horn glowed in bright purple energy before a book appeared out of thin air. It opened, revealing a page full of incantations. Magic is quite common in our world. Whenever we perform a summoning spell, we either create from the power of our will or bring it forth from somewhere in our existence. Twilight found a way to bring someone from another existence, something that's never been done before.
Twilight sighed. I'm sorry. There's so much happening last night. I thought there'd be a reverse spell, one that could send you back right away, but
there isn't one, Pierre said hesitantly, his heart sinking once Twilight nodded. Reality began to slowly set in. Pierre may never return to his home. How would Aunt May act at his disappearance? A sense of guilt escalated, mind wondering how New York would fare without Spider-Man. Guys like Kingpin, Sandman, Electro, several others would go unchecked. His brow furrowed. Not completely true. New York still had several heroes like Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. If things ever got really bad, the Fantastic Four and the Avengers would step in, save the day. He shrugged. Even the X-Men might step in and things ever escalate to their fever pitch. Truth be told, any of those guys could do a much better job of protecting the city than he ever could. Besides, they would never nearly get as much heat for Jameson as Spider-Man did. Pierre huffed. Aside from Aunt May, no one else would miss him. For crying out loud, the entire city hated Spider-Man, and Peter Parker was just a below-average guy living in a below-average lifestyle. After what happened to Captain Stacy and Gwen, Pierre felt like he deserved some of the heat. Oh, Pierre. Don't feel like that. Several people would miss you. MJ, Miss Brandt. A lot of people would. Stuck on how I feel about that. How I feel about this. On the one hand, Pierre feeling very, very depressed and sad like this is nothing new. I mean, we know how many times he's suffered through this. And how many times it's made him go through this. On the other, I feel like leaving out some of Pierce's other friends without Pierre actually thinking about them is making Pierre feel like he's only letting one death take its toll. All this is just taking its toll. I guess I'll still look down more to see how this works out. He shrugged his shoulders. There's a lot to take in right now. The best thing Pierre could do right now was adjust to his new home and try to protect the Pierre ponies here. While he not be human anymore, his morals are still the same. With great power comes great responsibility. If his responsibility was here in Equestria now, the least he could do was help with the crisis at hand. Realizing he was daydreaming, he shook his head. Well, I'm sorry for wasting your time, Twilight. I couldn't even stop the dragon.
What do you mean? I thought you made him leave.
Rainbow Dash blurted out, cutting in between Twilight and Pierre. He left, but it wasn't me that did it, Pierre murmured. He shook his head, trying to piece together broken fragments of his infirmary back together. I could barely remember the details, but he said something about a spell wearing off and coming back with some kind named Discord.
That what?
Everybody in the room sighed, ending Pierre's rambling spell. Celestia started an expressive return. Spider-Man, I need you to tell me everything you know. Discord's truly involved, I fear, for the safety of Equestria. That bad, huh? I know my fair share of psychos back home. Pierre closed his eyes and trotted across the room in a pacing manner. Didn't say much, but he said something about Discord and something about the elements of happiness or something teaching like that. And harmony? Princess Celestia and Twilight asked. Pierre's masked eyes widened as he gave a nod. Yeah, that's it! What do you think about the elements? Almost said, confusion filling her emerald eyes. Shaking his head, Pierre held his host defensively. Not much from what I control. He said the magic element won't stop him this time. Could have sworn I heard some mechanical laughter, and it's a bunch of something fell in the air. Twilight glanced up at Celestia with a look of concern.
The magic element? You mean the element of magic? This card couldn't touch my element last time. Do you think he found a weakness, Princess Celestia?
I'm not sure. If he was able to summon a dragon, then his return's inevitable. I cannot truly say for certain my princess didn't, the princess said, stepping away from every pony. She walked to the nearest door, used one of her wings to close it promptly. Pierre scratched the back of his head. I'm usually quick on the uptake, but can someone tell me what exactly are the elements of harmony? They're an ancient power that I used long ago to seal my sister away when she aimed to take over Equestria. Now the girls are instant possessed of the power of each element's respective power. So you turned her attention to the ponies around Pierre. Girls, introduce yourselves. Rarity stepped forward and brushed her hair back.
As you already know, I'm Rarity. I represent the element of generosity.
Fireside stammered, but she managed to hold eye contact with Pierre.
My name is Fluttershy. I represent the element of kindness.
Rainbow Dash stuck her chest out and smirked.
I'm the incredibly awesome Rainbow Dash, and my element is loyalty.
Applejack used her hook to remove her hat from her head. Since you're not half conscious this time, maybe you'll remember me this time. Pierre chuckled, prompting her various accent. I'm Applejack. I'm the element of honesty. Pinkie Pie bounced over to Pierre, bearing a white smile.
I'm Pinkie Pie, and I like bite-sized geese.
Reddy cleared her throat.
Not that kind of element, dear. Your element of harmony. Oh, sorry. Nice laughter.
Pierre chuckled once more, fitting. Twilight nodded her head and gave Pierre a warm smile. My name's Twilight Sparkle, and I represent the element of magic. Nice to meet all of you. You're a colorful lot, literally. Pierre rubbed the back of his head. He glanced back at the princess. So, do you have any clue on what we'll do now?
I'm afraid I do not. In the meantime, the best thing we can do is wait.
Celestia stepped closer to Pierre.
This brings me back to my earlier question, but I must ask. When did the dragon say this card was returning?
Pierre brought his hoof up, tapped against the underside of his muzzle. Oh, right, he groaned. Swift tapping increasing his speed until it stopped abruptly. Exact words were 3 months from tonight.
I see. I'm afraid there's nothing we can do right now, but wait and prepare for the day to come.
Celestia's eyes widened as realization came to mind.
You said your strength is fading, Spider-Man?
Surely but surely.
Celestia walked up to him, brow furrow. I believe I have an idea what may be the cause, but I need you to disrobe and unmask.
Disrobe? He blurted out. I said the eyes constantly. You mean get naked?
Yes.
In front of a bunch of girls. Is that normal?
Rarity nodded. I can't blame him. It is rather undignified.
Upstart further brows stared blankly at Rarity. Really? Well, I don't like it usually. What difference does it make? Initially, he was about to protest, purely out of instinct. Sure, he was going to carry more of his role as Spider-Man. He groaned inwardly. Technically, he wasn't a man anymore. A mild name change was necessary. Not to mention, there was nothing to hide, since clothes seemed like not a necessity in this world. While he kept his identity a secret back home, Pierre admitted that keeping it from everyone was troublesome, left him with little to no allies. It protected him and his loved ones, but it hurt him just as much. It was time for a small change. Okay, Miss Celestia, I'll play it your way. He paused to swallow his lump throat. On one condition. Her eyes brightened brightly.
And that would be?
I beg my idea to be kept a secret, and everyone in this room keep it to themselves. He turned around with a look of plea in his masked eyes. Can you girls promise you'll keep my secret?
Fluttershy nodded. And if you've done for us, I don't think we have a right to refuse.
Every pony gave a smile of approval, for Applejack walked up and placed a hoof on Pierre's shoulder. You have my owl's word. Your secret's safe with us. Her words echoed through his head, but left a sense of peace in his chest. He would never have done this back home. There was something about these girls that made him willing to compromise. He placed his hoof under the collar of his costume, and slid down his body until it hung over his silky tail. Inhaling deeply, Pierre ignored the rising temperature in his face, and tossed his outfit to the far side of the room. He used his hooves to pull his mask over his eyes, allowing his chocolate mane to extend and fall over his hazel eyes and neck. My name is Peter Parker, and I... He glanced down his frame, furrowed brow. Finding his skin tone matching the shade of beige, feeling the crabbled wrath. I could really use some pants. Radi's eyes widened, her cheeks burnt to a shade of crimson.
Well, the costume is ugly, but the style underneath is quite the opposite. For an outlander, you're incredibly handsome. Wow, my name is Peppa too!
Pinkie Pie giggled, earning a bright square from Pierre, and stuffing laughter from Rainbow Dash.
Pierre Pumming Parker. That's a nice ring to it. You'll be ping, 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 ping. Better get triple P.
Staring stand dumbly at the eccentric mayor. Does she even listen to herself? Celestia walked up to Pierre, tilted her head to one side of the body, to shift it close to the other. I see the problem is, Pierre. He shrugged. Yeah, I'm on the business or high side. I've always been like that. You should have seen me before the spire bite. First I raised her brow.
You were bitten by a spider?
Long story. Tell you about it later. Shaking her head, Celestia reared her head down and aimed her horn at Pierre. She closed her eyes as sparks began to fall. She glowed gracefully until they bounced off his flank. Pierre, I fear you lack a cutie mark.
Oh, what? You lost me at cutie.
Cutie mark. It's a symbol of what a pony's good at, something that represents their innate talent. Twilight reared her head back and pointed at her nose right as sparks on her back flank. No pony possesses them automatically, and a cutie mark is earned in time. And I believe this may be the reason why you're losing your strength, Celestia added, bringing Twilight and Pierre's concerned gazes in her direction. Though you're an adult, your special talent has not been discovered here. Your gifts from your world may take time to emerge, but at this rate you may lose them soon, Celestia said, turning Pierre's face a poor shade of white. It's not certain, but there's hope they will return fully upon the birth of your cutie mark. His mouth fell agape, so he was losing all his powers now. His thoughts raced, bringing him to bite his lower lip. Could he really lose his powers completely before this mark showed up? A throb pulsed through his forehead, forcing Pierre to place his forehead over his eyes and let out a groan. Celestia Watson will look concerned. She turned to the other ponies and closed her eyes. Girls, we'll discuss this matter another day. Right now I want you all to go home to rest. She opened her eyes. Verity, I will send the finest construction workers to fix your house tonight, and I promise they'll be finished within a week. You're more than welcome to stay here until you're done. Her face beamed and sparkled with glee.
Thank you so much, Princess Celestia. I'll try not to be a bother.
She stopped, sobering silently, and turned to Applejack.
I'm sorry. Could Sweetie Belle stay a few more nights with you?
Applejack shook her head and placed her hand on her shoulder. So rarely. I doubt Apple Bloom will have a problem with that. Radi's glee returned. She wrapped her hose around Applejack's neck and pulled her into her brace.
You're such a darling, AJ.
That's enough, girls. Time for every pony to come home. Celestia said with a warm smile. However, she stopped her tracks and realization came to mind. Peter, you're fortunate no pony saw you during your skirmish with the dragon. I had the girls spread rumors that a pony saved the village to keep the populace from panicking. Pinky even came up with a suitable name for their savior.
Spider-Man!
Pinky bounced over to Peter, causing the stallion to jump back.
It's like Spider-Man, but with a mane. Every pony in the village likes it too.
I don't! And another reviewer pointed out why. Spider-Man? Peter Parker's hair is not the spire! Spire Stallion? Spire Cult? Something! But Spider-Man? And Peter is about to agree with my point. Peter chuckled nervously. Saying could be felt in his voice. Spider-Man? Oh god, that's horrible. Spider-Ham has more dignity than me now. Twice brow furrowed.
But Princess Celestia,
she stood her gaze in Peter's direction. What about Pierre? He doesn't have a home to go to. However, Celestia's smile remained intact. Do not fret, Twilight. He does have a place to stay. He does? I do? He's your guest of honor, so you can learn from his endeavor. I am appointing Peter, she paused, giving a stern yet firm smile, your roommate. Twilight's mouth fell to the ground. Before she could protest, Celestia opened a large window to the room and took flight. In the span of a few days, Peter was ripped away from his world, changed to a pony, fought a dragon, revealed his identity to 7 girls, now has to live with a girl who put him in this predicament. He rolled his life and scoffed, I hate my life sometimes. Celestia flew through the sky, glanced to the side, focusing on the thoughts that echoed through her mind. Cassandra, I hope Peter is, as you said, our greatest hero.